The 19th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards are set to take place this Sunday, January 27th at the Shrine Auditorium. I'm Sarah Hashim-Waris with the Los Angeles Times. With me is staff writer for the LA Times, Rebecca Keegan, here to give me a behind-the-scenes look about the award show. So Rebecca, thanks for joining me.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
So let's start off with the Screen Actors Guild, this entity. Who is it composed of? How do they vote? Tell me about the process.
The Screen Actors Guild is a union of actors. It actually recently merged with another guild, which includes a lot of other people like recording artists, people who twist the knobs at radio stations and whatnot. All in all, it's about 160,000 people. All of them who've paid their dues are eligible to vote on the SAG Awards. So it's a really broad group of people weighing in, mostly actors.
So we're about a month shy of the Oscars, another big award show. What can Oscar predictors kind of keep an eye out for at this year's SAG Awards?
The most important award at the Screen Actors Guild Awards is the Ensemble Award for movies. That is, if you're placing bets in Vegas on the Oscars, because traditionally there's a lot of crossover between who wins that award for a cast and who wins Best Picture in the Oscars. This year it may be a little unusual, however. In the last couple of years there's been divergence from that. There are a bunch of films with big casts this year that are likely to appeal to SAG. Les Miserables, Lincoln, Argo, all well liked by actors. Last year there was another film well liked by actors, The Help, that ended up not winning Best Picture, but won Ensemble at SAG. So it's not perfect, but it is a good indicator.
Can you go over some of the categories at this year's SAG in addition to Ensemble cast?
Sure. Best Actor race is one that people are watching really closely. I think it's probably going to be between Hugh Jackman for Les Miserables and Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln. Those are the guys who are favored in both the SAG Awards and the Oscar race. And there's also Bradley Cooper for Silver Linings Playbook, nominated in both. A couple of guys who were only nominated by the Screen Actors Guild, John Hawkes for The Sessions and Denzel Washington for Flight.
And another sort of special award that's going to be handed out this year is to Dick Van Dyke from Carl Reiner and Alec Baldwin, the Lifetime Achievement Award. What can you tell me about that?
Well, Dick Van Dyke actually last year gave the Lifetime Achievement Award to Mary Tyler Moore, and he got a rousing standing ovation. I think a lot of people didn't know he was still around. He is much beloved, and by the way, recently on Twitter, and I would expect to see a bit more of him.
And you also mentioned another interesting point about the SAG Awards. It's the only award show to honor stunt performers. What can you tell me about that?
Most of Hollywood is devoted to making you forget that stunt performers exist. The Screen Actors Guild kind of uniquely honors the guy who's really taking the hits for Daniel Craig in Skyfall or riding his motorcycle across rooftops. So it's kind of a cool award. These are really hardworking, working Hollywood people who don't usually get acknowledgement, and it's interesting that SAG does praise them like that.
Yeah, on screen and off screen.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for your insights, Rebecca Keegan. The SAG Awards will air on TBS and TNT this Sunday, January 27th. For the Los Angeles Times, I'm Sarah Hashim-Waris.